Is keeping your kids away and off social media the answer? Absolutely, for a while. But eventually, they're going to have to operate in this world. I mean, that's the whole point of parenting. That's the whole point of growing up. Being able to operate in this world wisely, intentionally, and consciously, and not being distracted by all the lies that are out there. So, in this episode, what we're going to get into is how to guide your kids to become critical thinkers as they participate in the world through social media so that they're not distracted and their life isn't distorted by the messages that are coming through. My name is Scott Schimmel. I'm the president and chief guide of the YouSchool. For the past, for 2 decades, I've been guiding young adults into intentional, conscious living so that they can be self-aware, happy, successful adults. Advertisers really throughout time have used scare tactics and scarcity to sell. And it's really no different in social media. I'm a grown man, and yet I am so distracted by the messages that come through media, social media particularly. I remember being in Maui a couple years ago, the absolute vacation of our dreams for my wife and I, the number one place in the world for us to go, Kaanapali, Maui. And we're living it up. I mean, every single thing is perfect. And one day I scrolled through social media, saw, I don't even remember who. I don't even know if I knew them, but another family who was on a trip in the national park Zion. And I remember thinking to myself, like, gosh, we never go to places like that. We never, maybe we should. And all of a sudden I had this like out of body experience. I'm like, what am I doing? I'm in the number one place on the planet for me and for us. And I'm feeling bad that we're not somewhere else. The FOMO was real. And it's not just vacations and luxury. I'll just admit, I see people's updates on LinkedIn, and from time to time I'm like, whoa, what have I done? What am I doing in my career? I didn't, I feel behind. I feel like I haven't accomplished enough. I see these beautiful videos these days of people's backyards, and then I look at my backyard, and all of a sudden the home that we feel so grateful to have just doesn't look like it's enough. Ugh. I saw even this guy I barely know. I met him once or twice on social media. I saw that he got a hole-in-one in golf, and I never have. And I'm like, gosh, what's I can't do anything right. And I'm a grown man. I have a deep faith, a loving wife, close relationships with my kids. I've run a business that's profitable for, 12 years. I'm educated. I'm a homeowner in one of the most expensive cities. And this isn't to brag. This is to set context. To say, if I, in this phase of life, this age, am distracted, feel worse, start looking at my own life through the lens of not enough, if this happens to me, how much more will this happen to a kid who hasn't formed a life yet, who doesn't know their identity, who's trying to figure out what value they bring in this world? Social media is a distraction and a distortion from your life. That's what it's designed to do, to tell you that you're not enough. You don't have enough. You haven't accomplished enough. You don't look good enough. If you had more people impressed with you, then if you had more money, then if you could go to this place, then you'd be fulfilled, you'd be happy, you would be at peace, you would have less anxiety. That is what these, in addition to, let's just take your time, let's just take your energy, let's just take your attention and sell that other places. I'm just talking about the general particular threat to our kids' identity formation. Your kids will eventually, whether you wait for years and you follow all the latest research and data and you lock it down and have really strong guardrails and boundaries for your kids, eventually your kids will have access to social media. They will consume it. But will they either be mindless about it, unconscious to the messages that are distracting them and distorting their lives? Are they going to be unaware? Are they going to be victims, susceptible to these false promises, false messages that they're not enough? They have to be someone that they're not, get something that they don't need to have. Are they going to be naive, or will they be mindful, conscious, self-aware, thoughtful, careful, wise? Will they be able to think critically. That is, I believe, in addition to all these things about mental health, the harms of social media, what it can do to a kid's academic achievement, the bullying, human trafficking, all the real threats. I believe the existential threat of social media are these hidden messages, false promises, distortions, distractions. So what do we do about that? That's one of the reasons why we, the YouSchool, actually, it's the reason why we at the YouSchool have designed and created Tech Healthy Parenting. We want to help you as parents sift through these really complex issues that have a pertinent, relevant impact on our kids, and for you to be thoughtful, for you to guide your kids. So what I encourage you to do is, as you consume media with them, whether that's watching a show, whether that's you sit down and look at some Instagram reels with them, listen to the radio, listen to podcasts, start thinking, pulling out and looking at what are the messages here? What are the promises that this commercial is selling you? In what ways is this distracting you from your values and what you know to be true? Help them think through this. Help them see the messages that are coming through that are unhelpful, that are untrue, so that they can be in the world but not distracted by it, so they can be in pursuit of their true, authentic selves, their identity, their real purpose in this world, constructing healthy relationships, have a healthy relationship with themselves, their body, so that they can thrive and not just stick their head in the sand. That's not the answer. The answer ultimately is to teach our kids to be self-aware, conscious, intentional adults who understand what's happening to them and make choices that are scarce and rare and different and unique because they have clarity. So check out in the show notes, Tech Healthy Parenting. We'd love for you, whether you're a parent of elementary school kids, middle school kids, high school kids, if you've got a baby and in the womb cooking, this course is for you, to help you see the threats, for you to guide your kids to be self-aware, critical thinkers, and wise. The costs are high if we don't. The risks are tremendous. I don't want to look back and regret and think I could have done something different. I want to teach my kids how to navigate in this world well, and I know you do too.